This is a story about a Japanese man who got hit by a truck. After dying in a tragic road accident, he is reborn into a fantasy world. And we get to know our protagonist is named as Rudius. He is the son of a swordsman named Paul Greyrat, and a healer Zenith. Rudius also possesses the memories of his previous life. As he begins to learn and practice magic, his parents hire the adventurer Roxy Megurdia to be his teacher. Roxy is initially skeptical about teaching Rudius due to his young age, but she is convinced of his potential after seeing his ability to instantly cast magic. As the Greyrat family throws a welcome party for Roxy, Rudius vows to work harder and make the most of his second chance at life. Rudius reflects on his past life, when he was expelled from home and died while attempting to save some teenagers. He spent few months in training magic with Roxy until his 5th birthday, when Roxy declares that she has nothing more to teach him and so she holds his graduation exam. The next day, Rudius leaves home for the first time with Roxy. He becomes distressed by memories of being severely bullied by his classmates in school, but ultimately overcomes this trauma when he sees how well Roxy is accepted by the villagers despite facing prejudice due to her foreign appearance. In the exam, Rudius successfully summons a massive thunderstorm and Roxy declares that he has passed. Rudius thanks her for all that she has done for him. Overcoming his fear of leaving home thanks to Roxy, Rudius starts playing outdoors and rescues a half-elf child named Sylph from a group of bullies. Sylph even became friends with Rudius and began learning magic from him. 6 months later, Rudius brings Sylph home during a storm, and after forcibly removing his clothes for a bath, he discovers that Sylph is actually a girl named Sylphiette. Despite apologizing, at first Sylphiette initially avoids Rudius, but the two eventually make up, and Rudius is determined to cherish their friendship that he has made in his new life. The Greyrat family is overjoyed when they learn that Zenith is pregnant again, but their happiness is short-lived when their maid Lilia reveals that she is also pregnant as a result of an affair with Paul. In order to protect Lilia from Zenith's anger, Rudius convinces his mother to forgive her and has Paul take all the blame for the incident, which earns Lilia's gratitude and loyalty. Zenith and Lilia give birth to 2 girls, Norn and Aisha, and Rudius thinks about going to the Rinoa Magic Academy, after receiving a letter from Roxy. However, Sylphiette does not want to be separated from Rudius and he decides to find a job to pay for their tuition instead. Despite this, Rudius' parents still believe that his attachment to Sylphiette is holding him back and choose to send him away with an old family friend, the beast woman Ghislaine. As Ghislaine escorts Rudius away from home, he reads a letter from Paul that informs him of a tutoring job arranged to pay for his and Sylphiette's studies. However, Paul believes that Rudius' attachment to Sylphiette is hindering his growth and prohibits him from returning home or seeing her for the next 5 years. In the city of Ro, Rudius meets his employer, Philip Boreas Greyrat, who is also his father's cousin and the mayor. Rudius is assigned to tutor Philip's daughter Iris, but Iris is rude to him upon meeting her. Rudius creates a plan to earn her trust by pretending to be kidnapped with Philip's consent. However, their kidnapping turns out to be real, and one of Philip's servants is working with the kidnappers. Rudius protects Iris by fighting off the bandits until Ghislaine arrives and kills them, also arresting the betraying servant. Upon returning home, Iris accepts Rudius as her tutor and he begins living in her house. Philip is grateful to Rudius for protecting Iris and advises him to keep his connection to the Greyrat family a secret in order to avoid becoming a target. From then on, Ghislaine teaches Iris and Rudius swordsmanship while Rudius teaches Iris and Ghislaine magic, literacy, and math. Iris often becomes bored in class and ships, so Rudius decides to give her 1 day off a week to help motivate her. During a walk in the city, Iris tries to buy Rudius an expensive book but he refuses, saying that it's not appropriate for her to give gifts without her own money. He suggests that she ask her father for an allowance, which she does and uses it to present Rudius with a bottle he had previously expressed interest in. However, Rudius becomes uncomfortable when he realizes that the bottle contains an aphrodisiac and he fears to explain this to Iris and Ghislaine, As the date of Iris' 10th birthday party approaches, Rudius allows her dance teacher to take some extra time from his schedule to help her improve. While he uses the extra time to learn new languages, Iris struggles with her dancing and begins to consider giving up. However, Rudius encourages her to keep trying and begins to assist with her lessons. Despite the help of Ghislaine and Roxy in improving Rudius' foreign language skills, he still struggles somehow. On the day of the party, she is unable to successfully dance with another noble, but Rudius steps in and leads her through the dance by incorporating some of her fighting skills into the movements. After the party, Rudius meets Iris' grandfather, Soros Greyrat, who sees a strange ball of light in the sky and fears it could be an ominous sign. 2 years later, Iris and her family throw Rudius a birthday party. Rudius is disappointed that his own family can't come because of increased monster activity in the area. As a present, Philip gives Rudius a high-quality magic staff and suggests that Rudius marry Iris and become his successor, but Rudius turns down the offer. Later that night, Rudius is surprised to find Iris waiting in his room. He tries to have sex with her, but she pushes him away. Realizing he made a mistake, Rudius apologizes, and Iris forgives him. A few days later, a large cloud of mana appears in the sky, and the armored dragon king, Perugia Stola, sends one of his servants, Almanfi, to investigate if someone is trying to break the seal on the demon god. Almanfi becomes suspicious of Rudius, who was practicing with his new staff alongside Iris and Ghislaine, and attacks him. But Ghislaine defends Rudius and confirms his innocence when a bright light appears. Rudius is surprised to find himself in the body of his past self, after a brief encounter with a being called the Human God, who instructs him to rely upon him and suggests to help the man who saved him. He soon wakes up to discover that he and Iris are left abandoned in the demon continent and have been rescued by Ruijerd Superdia, a member of the feared Superherd race. Ruijerd becomes their friend and offers to escort them home. He takes Rudius and Iris to a village that just so happens to be Roxy's hometown, where they meet her parents. During their stay, Ruijerd explains Rudius about how his tribe's negative reputation comes from the cursed spears given to them by the demon god Laplace, which turned them into mindless killers. He also learns that the spear in Ruijerd's possession belonged to his son, whose death at his hands allowed him to regain his senses. Impressed by Ruijerd's determination to redeem their race's reputation, Rudius agrees to assist him, and the three of them set out on their journey home from the village. Upon arriving in the city of Rikarisu, Rudius, Iris, and Ruijerd must come up with a plan to allow Ruijerd to enter the city without any issues. Rudius comes up with the idea of dyeing Ruijerd's hair and pretending he is a member of the Migurdia tribe. The trio become official adventurers, but their lack of experience prevents them from taking quests that pay enough to support themselves. As the human god suggested, Rudius takes on a quest to find a lost pet, which leads them to another group of adventurers who kidnap pets for the reward. After defeating the kidnappers, Rudius tries to get information from one of the kidnappers, but got hit by him. This makes Ruijerd very angry, and so he killed one of the kidnapper instantly. Rudius scolds Ruijerd for this, and prohibits him from killing unless in self-defense. Using the higher rank of the kidnappers to their advantage, Rudius and his companions are able to take on more profitable jobs while also improving their own party's reputation in the process. After the mana surge in Fitoa, Roxy starts searching for information about Rudius and his family. She finds that most of the Greyrat family members are missing, except for Paul and Norn. In the meantime, Rudius and his party go on a quest to find a mysterious monster in a forest. As they scout the area, Rudius' party come across two other groups who are also looking for the monster. When one of the adventurer group were attacked by the monsters, Rudius is hesitant to join the fight, as he wants to increase his party's reputation by helping them. Unfortunately, one of the adventurers ends up dying in the battle. However, Rudius and his team are able to ultimately defeat the monster. Upon returning to Rikarisu, Rudius is confronted by another adventurer who tries to use his secret against him and demands a bribe. Moved by Rudi's determination to protect Iris at any cost, Ruijerd drops his disguise and reveals himself as a Supard, threatening to kill the adventurer if they reveal their secret. After leaving the city, Rudius makes up with Ruijerd, as they continue their journey with Iris towards a coastal city on the edge of the Demon Continent. Meanwhile, Roxy is also traveling to the continent to find Rudius, accompanied by two of Paul's former companions. Check out the playlist for such amazing recaps. If you think we have missed something, let us know in the comments section. That's it for today.
ありがとうございました。